Welcome to this special interaction with Dr. Subbarao. I must say that I have caught him unawares. He is on invitation to the Mint Conclave, but he has been kind enough to allow himself to be ambushed by me. Dr. Subbarao, we are living in extraordinary times, especially for the central bank, and I'm really glad you have given me a couple of minutes of your time.
Very good, Latha. Thank you. Delighted to reconnect with you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Well, first up, really, this big elephant in the room, demonetization. We have seen a lot of the pain. Do you think this is pain well taken? Do you think it will give us any gain, or is that gain uncertain?
Well, I wish I could give a binary answer to that. As everyone has said, the costs of demonetization have been huge, have been here and now, have been direct. The benefits are uncertain, unquantifiable, and in the indefinite future. And it's not clear what the net cost-benefit calculus will be, but I will use two metrics to measure the success of this. The first metric is to what extent has the stock of black money been destroyed. The second is to what extent is the further regeneration of black money been prevented. On the first metric, on the stock of black money, the initial expectation, although the government did not say it in so many words, was that about 15 to 20% of the delegalized money will be destroyed. That's about 2 to 3 trillion rupees.
That's what we heard.
Yeah, that will be a deadly blow to all these people who hoarded black money. It will be a huge profit to the RBI, a huge windfall revenue to the government. The government can declare moral and material victory, and straight and simple. But that's not happened. 97% of the money has come back. So now we're looking for, at least the government is looking for, discovery of black money out of the deposits. And in my view, that's got to be at least about 1% of additional tax accretion as a result of this. Otherwise, I think the net cost-benefit calculus is negative. It will be like the search for weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, right? It will be like that. Okay. On the second metric, about the preventing regeneration of black money, that's a continuing effort the government will have to pay attention. In my own view, I think in India, what is more important than incentives for good behavior is disincentives for bad behavior. There's to be fear of getting caught.
But has demonetization made it worth people's while to pay? Because it's such a pain not to pay.
You mean pay what?
Taxes.
I would imagine so, and I think the government will have to make it worthwhile for them to pay taxes, come clean, and come into the formal economy. Okay, that's exactly the point I'm making, that the government has to put fear into them, that you will be caught if you're found doing wrong. To some extent, demonetization has had a great signaling impact. Like the Chinese say, you kill the chicken to scare the monkey. So if they follow through this, I think the second metric of preventing regeneration of black money can be pursued successfully.
Dr. Subbarao, you're more than just an RBI governor. You have had a long stint in administration in general and economic administration in particular. Did you really need the demonetization-led audit trail? Or is the administration, the tax administration, picking up the available audit trails, say in property? We could have caught more black money creators even without this, you think?
That's a debate we've been going through for the last 30 years. It's not as if demonetization has been an original idea that's come overnight, right? For the last 25 years, every government has been talking about it. In most conferences, most meetings, it comes up. And then it's discussed and put away as something impractical or inappropriate for that point of time. So this government bit the bullet. So I wouldn't believe that you can say that there are alternate methods. There are alternate methods, of course, but you did need a strong sledge-hammer action like this to show the government's determination to get at black money.
Okay, so basically you think there's nothing wrong with the step itself?
Yeah, I would think so, yes.
The problem lies more in the execution. What is your discomfort with, if any?
With what?
With demonetization.
Well, certainly everybody's talked about the pain and hardship that's gone.
Okay.
The hundreds of millions of people have gone through enormous pain and hardship. People have talked about whether there could have been greater preparedness. We've seen both the government and the RBI back and forth on instructions, confused people. There has certainly been inadequate, if also muffled, communication. So all these things could have been done better.
Okay, so your litmus test, you said, should be at least 1% more taxes. You mean 1% of GDP? I mean, it rises from 11 to 12% or whatever.
Right. At least 1%. Otherwise, I don't think the cost-benefit calculus would be positive.
Okay.
You know, and you must recognize that this 1% is on a permanent basis, right?
Yes.
It's not just this year, but every year. And of course, there'll be other benefits of demonetization, like all of this black economy coming into the formal white economy, and that having a multiplier effect, and the digitization, etc. And of course, corruption going down.
Well, we hope so. But really, the impact on the Reserve Bank is what has also grabbed people's attention. Do you think the Reserve Bank has come out injured in its autonomy and its credibility? That's what many people say.
So, you know, autonomy and credibility are interrelated in one sense, and they're also separate. So let's talk about them separately. Autonomy. To say that RBI's autonomy has been encroached upon, has been eroded, that's a story that's fed on itself.
Okay.
A lot of people saying this. Where's the hard evidence? You would say that RBI's autonomy has been eroded, provided it's been forced to do something that it, in its judgment, is inappropriate to do.
Okay.
What's the evidence people have? People say that the RBI governor was advised just the day before, and the RBI board just took about half an hour to decide. Let's look at them, okay? Just like the army. Army is preparing for a battle for a long time, but the precise time of attack is decided at short notice. That's exactly what happened. The governor said that they've been in consultation with the government. Both the government and the RBI have been working together for several months. He was advised the day before that this is the time.
Okay.
Second, about RBI board deciding, you know, in just about half an hour. Okay, where, you know, this is a matter on which they had to go entirely by judgment. There is no hard evidence. There is no hard data to fall back on. Okay, and let me ask you this. You referred to my experience in the government. How long does the union cabinet take to approve the union budget? Exactly 15 minutes.
Okay.
How long does any state cabinet take to approve the state budget? Exactly 10 minutes. This is a matter of record. You can see what time the cabinet meeting is convened.
But that is only the meeting, sir. They have already looked at, say, several aspects. At least the finance ministry has.
Finance ministry has, not other ministers. In this demonetization issue also, the RBI administration has looked at it. The board members have not. Okay.
It's quite possible. I mean, I'm guessing, and I have some sources who said so, that the Reserve Bank did try to point out several problems if and when such a large demonetization were undertaken. So they must have, going by my sources, made their points clear that you can't print. So to some extent they were made to do an inhuman feat. I mean, no central bank in the world can replace 85% of the currency in 7 weeks.
No, most of these are not binary issues, Latha. You just cannot say that.
So you don't think autonomy is hurt? Is that your point?
Yeah, I think that issue has been exaggerated.
Okay.
There is no hard evidence to believe that autonomy has been hurt. And it's a story, it's an urban legend that's fed on itself, you know, people saying it and carrying it on. On credibility, it's a different issue. Yes, like we talked about before, to the extent of preparation, to the extent of communication, and most importantly, to the extent of some people within the RBI getting caught for wrongdoing. That's very hurtful, and it's hurt the credibility of RBI. RBI as an institution has a formidable reputation for its professional and pecuniary integrity, and that, I think, has been hurt. And that's more a credibility issue than an autonomy issue.
Well,
you cannot say that the RBI has been forced into it based on the evidence that is now available.
What if you were in that position? And you were, they gave you 6 months to discuss, but, you were told in 7 weeks 85% of the currency has to be changed, and you knew the currency printing capacity. What could you have done?